Hello, you're welcome. In this video, we are going to be looking at how you can create bubble charts in Excel, and we are going to be looking at the two different ways. The first is by adding the bubble chart directly, and the second is by converting our scatter plot to a bubble chart. So let's start with the first. You will come to Elements and then select your chart, and then from this chart, you select bubble. And you create the bubble chart here. So you can see from here that we have been able to create this bubble chart which has pre-populated values. We can change this. For example, let's say the first we change to Africa, the second we change to Europe, and the third we change to Asia. Now let's say we are comparing the two departments that we have in this location. We're comparing the sales department and the finance department based on the KPI. KPIs that we assign to each of these departments. And for the size, this is where we have the size of the bubble. So let's say for this first one, we have 5. Second one, we have 8. Third one, we have 3. This first one, let's say we have 7. We have 4. And we have 6. Now we can change the values of these sizes. Let's give this a 4, give this a 1, and give this a 3. Now when we look here, you can see how it looks while comparing the KPI for finance and for sales in these different regions. We can click on this Asia and use it to adjust the size of this very bubble. So we can reduce it and we can increase it. So let's say we reduce this. And you can see how it looks. So this is a way you can create the bubble chart directly on Excel. The second way is by converting your scatter plot to the bubble plot. So let's look at the second method. You will recall from the previous video that we had where we created comparison between the two products we released in various states in Nigeria, that we ended up with this very chart, which is a scatter plot. So in this very video, since we are talking about the bubble chart, I want us to convert this very scatter plot to bubble chart so that you will be able to see how easy it is and also to customize it. So the first thing that we're going to do is to go to our data sheet. So if we go to our data sheet, I'm going to populate this size column with different sizes. So let's say for this one, I will give it a 1. So when you look at my chart, you can see based on the values that I've given to each of these, the sizes of the bubbles. So the bubbles take the sizes for each of these values that will be placed here. But we can still adjust this by clicking on the bubble and either increasing the size by dragging, or we can still reduce the size, bring it back. If we want to automatically adjust these sizes, we can right click and select this make area represent size, or when we right click again, we can be able to change to make the emitter represent size. So these are still options you can use when you want to customize. We can remove these legends that we have here by just clicking on remove legend. We can also add this bubble size legend. If I click on this, you can see that I've added my bubble size legend here. Currently it's showing me 2.5, but I can change what I want it to show. So I can add here devices star ratings. So this is one customization I can do. I can adjust this, just the size of this. So you can see that we can adjust the size of the chart as well and make different kinds of adjustments as we want. We can also add thread lines here, just as we did previously. So we can add thread line either as a thread line or as a partition. So let's start by adding it as a thread line. So if I click on any of these points. Let's say I want to add for Southeast. I can click on one that has to do with Southeast and then add my trend line. And you can see how it has separated this for me. So we now have trend line for Southeast. Now, if what I want to add is partition, I still use the same method, then select trend line. Once I do that, I can move this to any position, add another one. For this one, I want to make it vertical. I'll place it here, and so move this. So now I can change the colors of my partitions, just as we also did in the scatter, and change this color as well. So here I can see what I have in the north. So in the northwest, I have all of them in my last quadrant, which shows me something, makes me understand that this very part of the country gave me a very good rating, as we can see. So for both my Android and my iOS, this part of the country gave me a very high rating. I can see that for Lagos, it gave me a higher rating for my Android compared to what it gave me for my iOS. For Ogun, it enjoys my Android, but it does not like my iOS based on the 1-star rating that I'm getting here. So this partitioning also helps me to be able to clearly see how the performance went on and be able to make strategic decision instantly. And this is just what I want to demonstrate in this video. The easy way you can use scatter plot to create bubble charts, as well as also create bubble charts from scratch and be able to use this to tell your data story. I hope you've been able to find this video helpful. Please, if you have, kindly like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.